Salbona. And welcome to the Ruben Tuesday. My name is Ruben, and this is my review for Netflix's original series, Blood and Water. A local teen uncovers her family's secret past and navigates the complicated world of a South African high school. So there are 6 episodes at about 15 minutes long, so if you want to binge watch the series, you can do pretty quickly. This is Netflix's second original South African series. There also was a series called Shadow, which Netflix bought, but wasn't an original. Sono, I really enjoyed. I think there are similar issues with Sono than there are with this series, and that's mainly to do with the dialogue. For the most part, I think this is very well put together. I like some of the characters, and the journey that the main protagonist goes on is basically about trying to find a lost member of a family. So that description on IMDb doesn't do it justice at all. The main focus of the story is that they're trying to find, or trying to keep alive, the hope that they might find the long lost daughter and sister. And so this one sister that wants to find her sister goes to this elite school because she knows that there's something there that might lead her to, without doing spoilers, that might lead her to finding her sister. And in amongst that, you are experiencing drama llama, everything that drama goes with having teenagers, everything that goes with a high school, especially an elite expensive high school, and especially all the drama that goes in with having teens and relationships. And then you mix in elitism a bit. Then you mix in the story of what actually happened with the loss of their daughter, and as you can imagine, there's a lot of drama going on there, and that for the most part is the focus of it. I will say that you'll probably figure out right at the beginning what is going to happen to certain characters. You can guess for the most part, and that is one of the biggest drawbacks to me for this series, is that you can guess what's going to happen, and you know at the beginning what's going to happen, and you know who's going to do what. So the writing in that aspect, there isn't anything that is a massive mystery. By the time you get to the reveal at the end, you'll be like, yeah, but we knew this 4 episodes ago. And as much as I don't want to come down harshly on a South African series, I am South African, I have my flag up to support it as much as I can. I think for the most part, the locations are great. I love the university in Cape Town where it's set. I love the locations. Whenever there is an outside location, you see Table Mountain, or the beauty that Cape Town has, I squeal like woo, and I really miss it because I haven't been there for years, and I really want to visit. I missed South Africa. That's not to say that there isn't fun to be had yet. There are character moments that I thought were very good. There's some certain acting moments that I thought were really great, and interesting topics that they discuss, that they cover. Although it is really hard to identify with people that are really rich, young people that are in that age bracket. I think that there's definitely going to be a core demographic that this series is for. So pretty rich students in Cape Town, that is the very niche. But I think for the most part, if anybody's ever been to school and been to high school, there will be stuff that you will identify with somewhat, and then it's taken those themes and just kind of embellished them a lot. I do think that the arc is really quite tough to get to grips with. That's going to keep you engaged for a lot of it, because it didn't keep me engaged. I thought this was a very slow series. I think what hurt it a lot as well is the dialogue. It is cringy at times, and it's just not believable as to what teenagers would say to each other. I feel like it's a series that's written by adults but not really come to grips with how teenagers speak to it. You get those series where they speak like adults. You just know that that's not how they speak. I think sometimes they get it right. There's a bit of a balancing act that didn't quite work here. So those are all the negatives out of the way. I really like the location, as I've mentioned. I love the score and the music within. I thought that was done very well. I think the cinematography, for the most part, is very good. There's some really creative shots. I think you'll find that'll keep your attention for some of it. And if you're like me, a South African that is longing to see Cape Town, you're really going to enjoy those moments. I really like the mix of language as well, which is obviously accurate. Here in our household, we'll sometimes speak in Afrikaans or the occasional Zulu word just for emphasis if I can, so I can remind myself I know some of the language still, and Dutch obviously because my wife has that kind of heritage. So we like to mix our languages, and that's just from the time we spent growing up in South Africa. So you can imagine, as the culture that has many languages kind of mixed in, how authentic this is, because they kind of dip in and out of multiple languages, which I think is really great great and does add a sense of authenticity to this series, which I think is good. The series also has one of those characters that you love to hate. I think she did a good job. There's a particular character that every episode you just wish she would shut up, or somebody would shut her up, so I have to kind of give props to that kind of character building. I think they did a great job with that character. It's one of those characters you just hate in every episode, and you understand the motivation eventually behind that character. And I think that's another good thing that can be said about this series. They do develop backstories for each of the main characters, which is good. Otherwise, if they had stuck to what they did with the first couple of episodes, you won't care at all about these characters, because it really needs to build. I think 6 episodes is the right amount. Had it been any longer, I don't think I would have stuck out with it. As I said, it feels really long and drawn out. You get what's going to happen. You kind of wish they would get to the story and the answers quicker than they do. But the main focuses, once you take the arc away, is about these relationships and what these kids are going through in high school. So it's their time. So you have mixed themes in here, like that classic one with a relationship with a teacher. That seems to be one of the ones that high school dramas tend to touch on. Drug usage, just general relationship issues, when to have sex, are you having sex, that kind of teenage themes that writers seem to like to put into high school stuff. Somewhat authentic, but I'm still not sold on the language of how teenagers speak to each other in some of the dialogue here, and it is cringy at times. So it's a bit of a mixed bag for me. I'm going to give this a C+, because I think it has some good things going for it, but it's not that great. I'll be interested to see whether they wrap up the story in the second season, because they haven't wrapped it up within the first season, so there's stuff there they need to sort out. Kind of a cliffhanger, because they don't sort out most of the main arcs, which is annoying. I would have liked somewhat an arc to be sorted out, and then, something left for a second season possibly. So far, I prefer Sono, and I think Shadow was excellent. So here's hoping we get new South African original content from Netflix, and that it keeps building on that kind of confidence and being as good as the rest of the world. I think so far the future is bright for the original content. Let me know in the comments below, have you seen any of the other South African original shows from Netflix? What did you think? What did you think of this one? Do you think I was being too generous or too harsh? Let me know in the comments below. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.